Hi all, welcome back to L.J.W Reactions. I'm Victoria. I came across a video yesterday, a Theo video thankfully, so for those of you wanting more Theo reactions, you're welcome. But the video was quite interesting. It was called How Having Too Much Wealth Can Change Someone. And in light of everything that's happening in the entertainment industry, Jay-Z, wink wink, P. Diddy, I thought it was a fitting video. The timing just was quite perfect. And I just wanted to hear what they had to say. So without further ado, let's just watch.
All this Diddy stuff going on, man. What do you...
I'm sure glad that I didn't hang out with him, right?
You never got into you never were in his
I've
universe.
met him, right, but never went out, right? And actually, back in 2003, he reached out to me to the Mavs and wanted to design a uniform for us. And I never met him. We did it all via email. And so he had some of his designers get in touch with me, and they put together some, and it was a cool looking uniform, right?
Yeah.
We used it for a couple of years, but that was the extent of my connection.
Right.
I never hung out or did anything. And you know, I hung out enough in LA, but I never really heard stories about the parties.
Interesting.
That was my scene.
Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, I would just hear stuff sometimes. Like, I would hear certain things, but it was never anything like, oh, this is exactly what's going on.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
You
you
just
would
heard
think
inklings
somebody
and
would
stuff.
say something. How do you keep that
That's
quiet
what I
for
think.
so long? You know, all those videos. It's not like people didn't like. I don't care if you take people's phones, right? Someone's sneaking in the phone.
Yeah.
Shit like that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that if they say all the things are true, that he was able to just do that for so long, you know? What is a level like... Is it scary when people get to a level of wealth that they can kind of have anything? Like, what is some of that?
See, I don't look at it that way, right?
And I'm not saying you do
No,
either,
no, I hear
but I'm
you.
just curious about
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
What are the options, right?
Right.
Like if you're rich as fuck, what can you do and get
Yeah.
away with, right? I don't hang out with people like that, right? I always looked at it
Interesting.
that, like, my high school buddies are still my high school buddies.
Oh,
right? Like the guys,
grounded.
You know, my rugby teammates in Indiana, my Indiana buddies. Those are my friends. The guys, I lived 6 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment when I moved to Dallas. Those are my friends, right?
Right.
So it's not like, okay, I'm getting the butlers, I'm getting the chauffeur.
Right.
Look at me, right? And I
Yeah.
came by myself. I don't give a shit about that
Yeah,
stuff.
no, you seem... Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was like, how will he show up? Will a stork drop him off?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it hasn't crossed my mind, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, you have to be, in order to do shit like Diddy or anybody like that, you have to be so paranoid, right? You have to try to think of every base to cover, right? And, you know, now part of me wishes I'd done, because there's too many pictures of me out drunk with my friends and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But I just don't like to live paranoid. Right?
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
I love having a lot of money. It's a whole lot better to be rich than it is to be broke.
Yeah.
But I was happy when I was poor. I just was happier when I was rich.
You know when people are like, oh, would you rather be super famous or like super rich? I'd rather be just wealthy and no one knows really who I am. I know nowadays influence does carry a lot of weight, especially when you go into certain spaces. But the paranoia, I don't like too many people knowing me and knowing my business, which is quite ironic given I'm filming this and I'm going to upload it onto the internet and it's just going to be out there. But no, that what he's saying I completely agree with. That paranoia, next level. And a lot of the times you don't know the people around you that well. So no, it would make me feel very unsettled. Let me know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. Well, clearly not.
And so I don't get that whole thing of, you know, like just be protective and like play the rich game, right? That's just not my style.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I think play the rich game. Like, but do you see people, like, do you ever, like, because that's the thing, like, people get so much money and then they get power too, or some of them get one or the other, maybe
Right.
both. But then, like, how does that infect people? Do you see that infects some people? Like, have you ever witnessed it?
Yeah, oh, for sure, right? So like people who think because they're rich, they're smarter, right? That they have more privilege, right? They can get away with whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah, particularly in business, right? So if you talk to somebody that may be richer than me, right, who will say shit that's just crazy, right, and think, okay, because I said it, that's what's up, right? That's it's right? Or more likely, though, in my experiences, like I'll get invited to these parties, right, that are really nice house and stuff, right? But there'll be like 50 servants, right? 5 people to answer the door, 6 people that just specialize in toast, right? Just ridiculous shit, right?
Yeah.
And all over, I'm like, how do you live like this? because it's bad enough. Like I have too big a house. And so you have to have people there to clean it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's no privacy just with that. And there's people that'll have like 10 people in the house at all times.
Yeah.
I bought a house a couple of years ago. Just the idea of having a big house, it's such a mentally draining thing because you have to think, I have to furnish it. Now imagine if you had to have staff that come in and clean it. It's just a lot. Like mentally, it's just a lot. I don't know, it takes a lot of mental real estate, I feel. So I do understand what he's saying. Obviously, I don't live that life, but I can imagine what it must be like to feel as though you have no privacy because your house is just so big that you have all these people there to like obviously clean it. I know it's like such a first world problem, but I do understand what he's saying.
I don't see how they live, right? So for some people, maybe it's like showing off. To me, it's just like, why would you live that way? Right, I'm happy to have all this money because I can live the way I want, as opposed to live the way somebody thinks I should.
Yeah.
And I just get the sense, to your point, that some people get to that level and it's like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to have this type of car.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have this many people working for me at the house.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have this type of china or whatever.
Gold toilets.
Yeah,
or
whatever
just
that is,
anything,
right?
Yeah.
I am going to say one of the things I got a heated toilet seat.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
And I'm going to caveat and say, if you can afford certain things, by all means. There's certain things that I really indulge in and, my husband just thinks it's a bit odd. We all have our own thing and that's absolutely fine. And I'm not saying it's bad that people choose to spend their money how they wish to spend it. Of course, you can do whatever you want with it. But I think for me personally, I just tend to imagine if I had ample wealth, what would my life look like? And one thing that always strikes me is I think I would want more privacy.
Really?
You never had one?
Dude, I remember when I first got a clean lady to come once a week, I helped her like the first month. I felt horrible. Yeah.
You got to get a heated toilet seat. That's like
That I do want that.
Yeah, I
Those
don't want
Japanese toilets.
Too many fancy things.
I'm just telling you.
Really?
I'm just telling you, right?
That's the one, huh?
Oh,
I can almost imagine.
Because I go
it.
from, when you travel, right? You leave home and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I went where I'm staying now, right? No heated toilets. First thing I noticed, you sit down in the morning and you're like, fuck.
You have to do the whole tissue trick to just
better, right?
buffer.
For this room and my butt's cold.
Oh, dude, I remember the first night I stayed in a hotel room and it was like $600 or something. And I was afraid to even go to sleep. I was like, if I sleep, I'm wasting like $240, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I just kept staying up as much as I could. I still spent a little money, wasted some of the money sleeping, but it was nice.
Wait, no, that's so funny because me and my husband, I think it was New Year's into this year, we decided to go to London and stay in this really, really nice hotel. We had sort of been eyeing up for a while, and it was just the best. Yes, of course we slept, but we just really enjoyed our time. Like we were bouncing on the bed, literally bouncing on the bed, just really enjoying it and just living in the moment. And if you do get the opportunity to do things like that, I'd highly recommend that you do it. Obviously, I wasn't scared to sleep, but I did get the sense of I need to make the most out of this place sort of thing. But I still did sleep.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when people get to like you would see it sometimes with the Romans or something. I don't know, you would see it, but you would hear about it with the Romans where like they got to levels of wealth and power that it veers into like a lot of sexual like. I don't know if proclivities is the word. Is that a word?
Yeah, like what was it?
What does that mean, proclivities?
Yeah, no, you got it right. So like Caligula, right? I saw the movie Caligula.
Was Caligula?
Right? Yeah, that was the movie where
that's
was
what
like,
it was?
Yeah, with all the sex and everything. Where
I hadn't seen that.
Everybody was your concubine,
Yes.
right? Male, women, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was just fucking everything because they
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, I think that's something.
Yeah, my wife's not going for that shit.
yeah. There weren't a lot. Yeah, there weren't a lot of. Yeah. Once you put a wife in there, things change.
It's over. Yeah.
Proclivities, a tendency to choose or do something regularly. An inclination of predisposition towards a particular thing. So it might activate proclivities in you for something.
Like with the Romans, their proclivities were to fuck around and have fun, right?
Yeah, and it would turn, I think, but a lot of people, they do so much like straight activity, then it gets into gay, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
oh yeah. And I don't know what I'm saying either, but I think that's something, I wonder, that's just what I'm asking, I guess. I wonder if that's something that happens when people get so much money and power that their band or
The
their
threshold.
what they
Yeah.
just wanted. They've already had as much of like
Yeah.
regular sound. What if it starts to build on
Like, what can I
itself?
do next?
Yeah.
What can
Yeah.
I do? What
I
can I
I
do?
understand
Yes.
what
Like,
he
what can I
means.
get?
What else is possible?
Yeah,
in
like,
Yeah.
not so much with sex, right? Because you're going to get fucked over by somebody at some point, right?
Well, can you imagine having to keep all of the like trying to just even if you ever like sent like I've cheated in relationships. That's hard enough, just knowing like
What's next, right? Yeah.
or just knowing like I have to make sure we never go in this area. Or what if this girl like that one thing alone? I can't imagine the level of like paranoia.
Yeah, you just, I mean, is it worth it?
Yeah.
But,
It's
I mean,
no,
look,
it's not. Just
I'm not
live
gonna
a
say
simple
that-
life.
Forget not sex necessarily, but just like going out and trying new things, right? Like I bought a plane, right? I mean, because it's like that to me was the coolest thing after toilet seats,
Yeah.
right? To like being able
yeah.
to just pop on a plane, right?
Oh, that's a dream.
When I sold my first company, I bought a lifetime pass on American Airlines. So literally, I was 29, and I was like, I had this card where I could just go to any airport that had American Airlines, just show up, me and somebody else, and wherever they were flying, they had to put me on a plane.
Really?
That was
Nice.
insane. Yeah.
That's
so
nice.
that's like proclivities to go try different stuff.
That's your
Yeah,
version.
Yeah, that's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, I mean, I'm the luckiest motherfucker in the world, and I don't want to let it pass, right? I want to take advantage of the time I got. But more now, it's more family, right? As I've
Right.
gotten older, my kids have gotten older. It's more like my kids are 15, 18, and 21. And so it's like, let's spend more time with them because that's the most valuable thing to me.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, before I got married, it was like, let's go, 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 right? Travel, party. Let's see who could throw the biggest parties, right? Who could buy the biggest bottle of champagne, just rent a club, who can run up the biggest bill, right? Yeah, I was doing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what I think. Some people like if you get so like some people get so powerful or like there's a lot of gay folks out there. I think that they only veer into that or get into different sexual like things that are outside of what would be normal for them maybe. That because they get so much power, like the Romans did it. Like they say that they did it, or there's people like financial gays, power gays. There's like
I haven't heard that before.
No.
Really?
No, financial gays and power
Oh
gays.
yeah,
no,
there's people that
man.
get so rich they can afford to just be
Just
gay
fuck
for
anything
fun.
they want.
Oh, right.
Or like blind gays. There's even
Like if you want to push limits, right?
right pushing limits. That's
If
what
you
I'm thinking.
think money can buy you anything,
Right.
and you want to push the limits and think, okay, I got money that gives me power, so I can do whatever I want.
Right.
That's just going to backfire so hard because if you're not like real, the people that are you're messing with,
Right.
they ain't going to be real either. That's just going to be a disaster.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking about with the Diddy thing. I think it's just like at a level of that you can have anything that you get this power. It's just kind of, I mean, it's sad and it's scary to see,
Yeah.
I think that's some of the
Yeah.
craziest
Yeah, you
thing,
gotta wonder like when did it click? When did it like fall over the cliff? Right?
Yeah.
When it went from okay, let's hang and have some fun.
Have a good party to when it
to
started
when,
getting
like,
weird.
Yeah, like I'm taking videos of everybody and this and that.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
Do you think
yeah.
there'll be other people that will come out about this, or do you think a lot of that's like myth, like internet mythology?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's just like something that's been on kind of the topic of news.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's an interesting subject, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wonder like, and I wonder because I mean I've met the guy and I've seen
Yeah, I
him
met him
out,
one time too.
but it's just like, how does it get that far?
Yeah.
And
that kind of stuff's addictive too, though. Once you do one crazy thing, then that becomes
especially if
the
you're trying to
norm.
up yourself.
And then you're that's what your threshold's always like.
With buddies, right? Oh, have another shot, right?
Yeah.
Have another, and that's what guys do, right? But if it goes to the wrong direction, it could backfire, and like it has.
And the paranoia of having to keep that would be a nightmare, man. I feel lucky I'm not living that way.
Yeah, but to me, like the telltale sign is he fucking hurt people, right? He hit women, right? He dragged that one lady down the hall. And
Yeah, I saw that
obviously he was
video.
Fucked up somewhere.
It was
right?
horrendous.
I mean, it's one thing to want to party, right? It's another thing to like, okay, I'm throwing a big party, right? But it's a whole nother thing to physically abuse people. That's just like, yeah, that shit.
Yeah,
right.
it's like, how do you not have your own awareness at that point? But then I think things get, when you get power and you get that much ability, your own sense of self can probably get skewed pretty easy.
Yeah, something's fucked up, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what they're saying. And when I saw that video of Diddy and like how he was torturing abusing Cassie. You could tell this wasn't the first time. I just can't imagine how someone gets there. Like Theo said, you have to kind of keep track of everything. You have to keep on top of everything. And yeah, I can't even articulate my words because the mindset, how does one get to that place? I'm actually quite intrigued to hear what you guys have to say about this. Like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know if you have any other videos you want me to react to. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.